When Janice first asked me to speak, it was a matter of trying to put my thoughts together. And I know that we're here to talk about the EASE plan, but I had to go back and the historian in me needed to go back and fill in a little background on my mother's story. About 1995, the then Carney law firm came into our lives when my mom, Phyllis Wall, who's sitting here in the front row, her husband had a massive stroke. This was a time of great stress and learning. Mom began building a team to help her navigate this new world that this new world of nursing homes and social services. Janice led us through wills, trusts, and powers of attorney, the paperwork of aging. Her accountant, who was actually the one that sent us to Janice, was very helpful, and me, her daughter. This was the team that she began to build at that time. And thus we began making a plan that started in crisis but laid out a path for the future. Because I was included in the process of creating these documents, transitions were very easy for her, turning over various responsibilities to me when she no longer wanted them. I gradually began monitoring accounts, then paying bills, managing property, until today, when dementia has relieved her of all those daily chores and upped my workload considerably. I wouldn't change it for the world, except for the dementia. It seemed that Janice always came up with new ideas and programs just when we needed them. Several years ago, Jennifer Burkett was added to the team as the Elder Care Services in-house social worker at a time when Mom needed more social services than legal services. Jennifer helped me with putting together a team of caregivers who are caring and compassionate. This has enabled Mom to continue living in her home, which is the house she was born in, and still tending to her garden with help, watching the birds and a tenant's cows and horses. So she's still living in the agricultural environment that she grew up in. However, she is a graduate of Los Gatos High School, even though she was Evergreen on the east side is her home. Jennifer has been a godsend to me as a long-distance caregiver. I live in Arizona. I had calls that Mom had fallen and needed to go to the ER. She had good friends, a neighbor, and a niece who could be relied upon to help out until I got there, but they lacked Mom's medical particulars. Thank God for cell phones, fax machines, and email. Somehow the technologies was keeping up with my needs and as this all progressed. But the medical community didn't always speak the same language, or at least not my relatively well-educated English, though I did pick up some of theirs, TIA, UTI, etc. Case in point, Mom fainted last spring in the grocery store. The EMTs arrived. She seemed to be okay, but they wanted to take her in for an evaluation. I was en route from Arizona when I received the call and went straight to the ER from the airport. Her caregivers were there with her, and Jennifer was on call. In the ER, she was poked and prodded and observed. Her tests were all fine, but they wanted to keep her for more observation. I said, okay, but unless you find something critical, I'm taking her home in the morning. The next morning, they were still waiting for another test result and wouldn't discharge her. I called Jennifer in frustration. She called the attending physician, said some magical medical words, and Mom was discharged, making it home where her family and friends had gathered, including Jennifer, to celebrate her 89th birthday. More recently, Mom seems to be vying for the EASE Plan poster child. I received a call last Tuesday morning at 3 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Fortunately, it was 4 a.m. Arizona time. She had fallen and was unable to get up. She pushed her lifeline button, and the EMTs responded, as did Jennifer. By 3:30, Jennifer was in Evergreen. At any rate, This time, Mom declined the ride to the hospital and the ER evaluation. Though a little stiff and sore, she went to her primary care doctor for a checkup, and all is well. A very pleasant surprise at the doctor's office was Colleen, which was the first time Mother had met her. None of us had met her, but we knew of her. Anyway, she showed up at the doctor's office and was sat in on the exam. When I talked to the doctor later that evening, he was quite pleased with Mother's team of Marie Butler, her caregiver, who's here today, and Colleen for helping. Oh, there you are. In fact, it was quite a mutual admiration society, as Marie was singing the doctor's and Colleen's praises as well. Hopefully we will become better acquainted with the Ease Plan occupational therapist, so Mom will have the tools to get herself up off the floor. When I arrived Wednesday afternoon, which was already a pre-scheduled trip, all was well. So Mom's team approach to life and the plan we started nearly 20 years ago continues. Carney Sugai in Sudwick continues to play an important part, but I am most pleased to welcome the Ease Plan to our team. For Mom, Janice and Jennifer help her navigate her confusion and provide her a strong sense of security. For me, the peace of mind that they are there when needed is immeasurable. The translation of legalese and medicalese into plain English is invaluable. I occasionally wonder what I will do when in a few years I will need help navigating the path of aging. I just turned 65. Having no children of my own to call upon, it is critical to put a plan in place. So far, I have followed Mom and Janice's lead, and much of the paperwork is done. I told you it was a learning experience. It is nice to think when I need it, there will be something similar to Ease in Arizona. So stop in Arizona before you get to Maryland, please. Anyway, thank you very much.